Gibbo presents.
It's Gibbo, and right now I'm joined on the line by the host of last night's Clash, Halloween Slaughter. It is King Addies' very own Killa Boo, aka the Grim Reaper.
Greetings, Gibbo. Oh, go on.
It was good to see you were in the Halloween mood last night with the Grim Reaper costume. You certainly added a bit to the spectacle of the event.
Yeah, man. I was just trying to, go along with the theme of the Clash. Trying to bring a little flavor to it. Let everybody, put a little smile on some of the patrons' face. Let them really get into the Clash in terms of the theme, the Halloween slaughter. The Grim Reaper came for any sound that died. So, the Grim Reaper was there to bring out the dead bodies that were in Galbany Manor last night.
Sometimes the host of a clash has to make some very close or controversial calls when deciding which sound is to be eliminated. I don't think this was the case last night, but when you're hosting a clash, do you feel under pressure to make the right decision?
Yes, sometimes it's always it's always fair to make the right decision to the sounds that are involved. I didn't really feel any pressure in terms of who was to be eliminated or anything, because the audience were very clear, and I made it clear to the audience what all they had to do to decide which sound was going to stay or which sound was going to leave, which is I asked them just to put up their hands to show which sound they wanted to stay. That way the people who came there cheering for a sound, they could actually get a chance to put their hands in the air and say, okay, that sound has to stay. They want that sound to stay. Whereas sometimes you get a host who asks the people who got to go, and you might have a patron or fans in there of another sound, and they actually vote out the sound that did good, because they might have more people in the audience or whatever. So I just asked them who would they like to see to stay, and if you're there for a sound, you put up your hand, and we counted it that way, and it was very simple.
Supersonic left Albany Manor with the trophy last night after they defeated Rhythm Force in the Tune for Tune rounds. In your opinion, did the right sound go home with the trophy? Yes,
according to the audience that was there, the right sound went home with the trophy last night. It was very easy last night. We didn't have any debates on who might have won a tune in Tune for Tune. The audience were very clear. Everybody voted, and there was only one time where the vote was that close, where we had to do it over again. But we just did it over one time, and then it became clear that Rhythm Force actually won that song. So it wasn't any debate throughout the whole Tune for Tune. Everybody was clear on what they had to do, and the audience voted correctly, and Supersonic took the trophy home.
Do you feel Rhythm Force performed more consistently than Supersonic during the course of the night?
Actually, Rhythm Force was the most consistent sound for the whole entire clash. From the start of the clash up until Tune for Tune, throughout the 4 rounds of the clash, they were the most consistent in terms of, delivery, speech, tunes. They were just delivering, and everybody was saying the same thing. Rhythm Force, they really step up their game, and it's a bad sound. And in time, a lot of sounds are gonna have to reckon with that sound, because the MC, he brings an energy and he brings a vibe to the stage. Something that a lot of MCs lack. So it with what he does, and the selector helping him out, and the selector being on point, they're going to be a problem in the near future. So I think they were the most consistent out of all of the sounds. Supersonic actually did their thing as well. They're veterans. They work together very well. They have done it before on many stages. So, but it was something to see Rhythm Force actually do it and be consistent and just stay out there, which a lot of sounds don't do these days.
What do you think the X factor was that led to Supersonic securing the victory? Why was it that they left with the trophy and not Rhythm Force?
Well, it came down to tune for tune between Supersonic and Rhythm Force, and I wouldn't say there was an X factor. I would just say it was just playing the better tunes in tune for tune, and winning over the crowd, because that's where it came down to. It wasn't like anything before tune for tune. I mean, every sound did what they had to do to secure their spot to go through to the next round, you know. But in the tune for tune, Supersonic kind of just basically outplayed them in tune for tune. You know, there are a lot of times there was one thing that Rhythm Force did which I didn't agree with. Like, you were leading the clash all night, and then remember it was a clash where no rules were set that who's going to win the round and who win the most rounds would win the dance or anything like that. You know, being that he was the most consistent, he came out on the stage and he said he doesn't have to play tune for tune because he won all the rounds. The audience knew that you were the most consistent, but there wasn't any victory given for the rounds or the points. So at that point, the audience were like, "Oh, you feel like you won the clash already." You know, that's what I got from you know, when he said that, and I'm looking out into the crowd. It's like he felt like he won the clash already, which in Brooklyn you don't really do that, or in some places, you know, because the people, they want their money until the end, until the lights turn on, until the sound lock off. You understand? So for you to say that you won already, which I've seen sounds do, they're leading in tune for tune, and then they come and say they're going to play their last tune, and then the crowd just switch on them because the crowd don't want the clash to end. The crowd don't want the clash to keep on going. So the slightest thing that you might do at the end of a clash could cause you to lose the clash, simply because the people want more. That's what I feel. So I didn't really agree with them doing that, and I hope they learn from that, that when you have the crowd on your side, you just got to keep them on your side. You can't, you know, act like whatever. I'm not saying that's why you lost or anything, because they actually did pretty good in tune for tune. It was 6-4. Supersonic won it by 6 tunes to 4 tunes. So, you know, it was a small edge, but it was pretty good on Supersonic's part in tune for tune.
So do you think that moment was perhaps a turning point? Had they not said that a tune for tune round was not necessary, then maybe the crowd would have been more likely to vote for them in the tune for tune rounds?
It could have been for some people in the audience, you know, because when you said that, I hear a few scattered boos here and there, you know, but they still did their thing in tune for tune. But that might have been a turning point where some people might switch. And, you know, this is Clash, and anything can happen in Clash, and, you know, one tune can just switch the whole dance, or one thing you say can just switch the whole dance. So I figured that he probably would have went into tune for tune with more of a momentum than Supersonic had he not said that to the crowd, in my opinion.
Supersonic are 4-0 when it comes to clashing this year. And on top of the sounds they defeated last night, they've also beaten Herbalize It, Jugglers, Composti, and Excalibur International. Taking into account their victories in 2013 and their past achievements, where do you rank them as a sound? What level are they on?
You got to give them their credit. They're a hard-working team. They have defeated some of the best in the industry. They're a top sound right now. You can't go around that. They're known as the kings of Europe, so you can't go around that. If you're the king of where your region, where you come from, you got to be a big sound. You know, you can't be any walkover. You know, somebody has to. You have to be a sound that is either feared or targeted. So they're in that situation right now where they're either targeted or they're feared by many. So you have to give them their props. They deserved it. They have worked for it. They have clashed Addies. They have clashed Mighty Crown. They have clashed most of the top sounds in Europe. You know, they're not afraid to clash anybody. So I would give them a ranking of a top sound. I don't know what class, if it's A or B or whatever, but I'd say they're a top sound or a big sound.
Do you see them as a potential future opponent for Addies? Could we see you two meet again, say in the next 12 months?
I wouldn't put a timeline on it or when, but I'm sure we'll clash again. We've clashed a couple times already. I believe 3 times. We've clashed in Antigua. We've clashed in twice in global clash. So, you know, I don't think they're gonna back down from King Addies, and you know, Addies is definitely not gonna back down from them. But hopefully in the near future we'll see a next one-on-one clash with Supersonic. Hopefully.
It's now been a couple of weeks since World Clash R.E.S.E.T, where Addies finished second after losing out to Metro Media in the Tune for Tune rounds. Having had time to reflect, are you satisfied with how the team performed, or can you never be satisfied unless you finish in first place?
I am more than satisfied with how the team performed. You know, I think the given the time that we've been on the sound as a team, myself, Sogi, Kingpin, and A1, you know, a lot of pressure has been placed on us to raise the sound back to a level that a lot of the patrons, a lot of the fans worldwide and globally, they expect from King Addies. But I think we have took it in stride, and you know, we win some, we lose some, but every clash is a learning experience for everyone that's on the sound. So I'm satisfied with their performance at World Clash, even though I didn't step out on the stage. But Kingpin definitely did his thing. A1 was there to back him. So the team is working real good, and I'm not mad that Sky Juice won. I'm not upset with it. We would have liked to have won, but I'm not upset. Sky Juice is a veteran, and what Sky Juice brought that night was his A game. So you know, the people them love him for years, and a lot of people were longing to see Sky Juice. You know, when you haven't seen someone in a while, there's nothing they could do that looks wrong to you. You know, so I feel like Sky Juice definitely brought his A game, and he's an entertainer. He's been doing it for many years. You know, I'm sure myself and my team learned a few things. You can't be too big to learn anything in this business. So, you know, I'm pretty much satisfied. It's one of those losses that I'm not gonna feel any way about it for the rest of my life. I wouldn't even look back at it and say anything negative about it. That's Sky Juice, you know. That's a veteran right there. So I'm happy for him.
As you mentioned, you didn't step out on the stage at Amazura. With the next generation of Addies, Swiggy Don, Kingpin and A1, continuing to prove themselves, enhance their reputations and be more active, do you see your role on Addies changing?
Yes, slightly. You know, I'm definitely going to be there playing the sound just the same. You know, but my role will definitely change. I mean, there are other things that I could show the youth them to make them build and progress in the business. You know what I'm saying? The reason I didn't step out on the stage at Amazura, I basically knew what Mighty. If you listen to World Clash, a lot of sounds cut tunes with my name in it. Mighty Crown cut specials with my name in it, and I knew they were trying to draw me out, basically. So I didn't give in to their plan and get them to get any more forwards off of me. I just stayed away from it, and I allowed them to, you know, just do what they thought they were going to be able to do. And it didn't pretty much work too well for them in their favor, because in the end they ended up dropping out before us. But I feel like if I had stepped out on the stage, like, they were trying to draw me out. It's something that Sammy said, that better can't come out here. So I basically knew that Mighty Crown was trying to, you know, being that I'm the one from Queens and World Clash is keeping in Queens, and it's basically a thing of, if you can't defeat the sound, let's divide them and defeat the main selector or one of the main selectors and draw them out. It's an old strategy that a lot of selectors use, a lot of sounds use it. If you can't defeat the sound, you're going to try to defeat the person that's in control. Like, if you stop the bus driver, then the bus is going to crash. It was one of those kind of scenarios, which I didn't give them any chance of capitalizing on by going out on the stage, because knowing Mighty Crown, they're custom kings, and they probably would have 2-3 more tunes with my name in it. You know what I'm saying? So the first one they played was basically to get me out there on the stage, which I'm much smarter than that, and I didn't let them capitalize any further.
The next generation are out in Germany as we speak, and tonight they're going to be playing at Big Mama Sound's 10-year anniversary in Mannheim. When I spoke to Chin last week, he talked about expanding the Addies brands, and juggling abroad is one of the ways he feels this can be done. What are your goals for Addies when it comes to expanding the brand on a national and international level, and how do you feel these goals can be accomplished?
Well, I'm going to say I want to see Addies on top of the world. I can't say it any more simple. I want to see Addies out there again where it was before. I want to see the new team that is there now. I want to see them get worldwide recognition. I want to see them trusted. I want to see them that people could look at them and say, yeah, man, when you see them out there, you know, say Addies. You know what I'm saying? No one is looking for the legacy. I mean, Danny's Dread is still there, but you have some people who still have doubts, and they say, okay, well, this is not Addies without Face. This is not Addies without Mataran. We're past that now. It's been almost 2 years and going on with a new team. So I basically want to use them for everything that they are working for right now and all the hard work that they're putting in. I want to see them reap the benefits of that. I want to see Addies become a household name again with a new generation of Clash fans. You know, I want to see Addies be the top sound in the industry. All I'm wishing for is the best for King Addies, basically.
It's recently been announced two of Addies' Brooklyn-based rivals, LP and Soul Supreme, will be squaring off in a one-on-one clash in December. Chin has said Addies would be interested in meeting the winner. Do you feel the same way, or do you feel your performance at R.E.S.E.T has already showed everyone who New York's number one is?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I don't feel we have to sit down and wait on the winner of Soul Supreme or LP. Addies defeated both of them in recent clashes. Global Clash last year, we got rid of Soul Supreme. This year, World Clash, we got rid of LP. I feel like Addies is past the Brooklyn and the New York rivalry in terms of who runs New York. It's clear right now, and it's evident that Addies is working harder than both those sounds. And it's not a disrespect to them, it's not a bragging thing, but our record speaks for itself. We don't stop clashing, we just keep on clashing. The youth them come on the sound, and they just jump right into the battlefield. And countless clashes we have gone through with this new team. Whereas a Soul Supreme, they don't clash as often, or LP, they don't clash as often. That war is just basically between them. You know, it's not that's basically a fight for second place, if you ask me. We're not concerned with who the winner of LP and Soul Supreme is. If it comes up in the near future where we have to face them again, which is Soul Supreme or LP, then we'll do so. But we're not sitting down waiting on them. I think there are more sounds out there that Addies can attack right now or buckle or clash right now. You know, Mighty Crown is one of them that we love to clash one-on-one. You know, we like to go to England or Europe and clash some other sounds. There are sounds in Canada to clash. There are sounds in Jamaica to clash. We're not really going to focus on just New York and the sounds in New York. I think the sounds in New York basically have to put in their work as well in terms of wanting to clash Addies again. You know, Addies is on a rise right now, and we're not putting them down. We're just saying that we're past that. You know, we're not into the New York rivalry thing. I mean, the rivalry will always be there, but we're not into the New York rivalry thing, as in, okay, every day we're gonna get up and say we're the king of New York and this and that with Soul Supreme and LP. That's not gonna be the case in the near future. We're taking it to the road right now, to the streets, to the world. You know, we don't want to be stuck in one thing, and for every time an argument or a topic comes up of king of New York, this and that, it's a debate with Addies and LP and Soul Supreme. No, we're going to let our work and our record speak for itself.
A clash with Mighty Crown should be easy to make, given that you both share the same management, and it would certainly be a huge draw. Do you think that they are as interested in a one-on-one clash with you as you are with them?
They're going to have to be. Whether they like it or not, they're going to have to be. This is what the people want to see. People want to see things like these. And if we feel like we have put in the work to deserve a one-on-one clash, then they can't go around it. They can't hide it. I mean, the fans are going to start speaking, and then everyone is going to start seeing it for what it is. It's not a thing where Mighty Crown and Addies will never clash because they might be managed by the same management. I want to see that clash. It's going to have to happen. You know, I'm not. This is something that I've been thinking about for a while, and World Clash even made it even more interesting because they came directly to attack me. So I want that opportunity. So I don't care when it happens or how it happens or who's going to keep it. That's something that's definitely going to have to happen. And on that night, we'll talk and we'll see who has gimmicks and who has facts.
Do you think they put on a performance that was not their best at World Clash R.E.S.E.T, given that they had been away from the Sound Clash Arena for a few years?
I've seen them done better. I've seen them do better at clashes before. Mighty Crown is an interesting sound. They know how to win the crowd. They know how to entertain. They definitely have done better before. This probably wasn't their best performance because Sammy T kept saying he just remember how to clash. I don't know if that was just a strategy he was using or whatever. But I'll give them their credit. They have done very good over the years in terms of bringing entertainment to the people. But I don't feel like World Clash was one of their better performances. Normally you would see Simon more involved in the clashing, which as World Clash it was more Sammy T. So I feel like this wasn't one of their better clashes. I'm more used to seeing both of them work together and those high energy. I don't feel like it was there at World Clash. Even though they outlasted most of the sounds, 4 other sounds, this wasn't their best performance yet.
LP haven't been very successful when it comes to clashing this year. They lost out to Kilimanjaro in Toronto before they dropped out in the early stages of R.E.S.E.T, and then just last weekend they lost out to Gash in Trinidad. A lot has been made of last weekend's loss. Have you had a chance to listen to the audio, and if you have, assess their performance for me?
Yes, I definitely did listen to the audio, and I would say their performance was mediocre. I've seen LP done better. I would say they didn't do their homework in terms of how to approach the crowd in Trinidad or the Trinidadian people. Everywhere you go, you have to do your homework, and a lot of sounds fall victim to that. You have to really and truly study the demographic that you're going to be in, whatever region it is. If you're going somewhere and the people who know a little bit of English, you have to see what tunes you could play to complement how much English they're going to understand from what you're saying. So I feel like they didn't really do their homework in terms of preparation, whereas Gash basically stuck to something that they might have prepared for. I feel like LP, they were basically what's the word I'm looking for? They were searching for something, and I don't feel like they connected with the crowd. I mean, you probably have to. Sometimes you really can't tell from the audio what went on or what happened, but just from listening to the audio, you could see that Gash, they probably was more prepared. They probably made a few more calls than LP to Trinidad, or know someone in Trinidad or something. Just an idea of what to do and what to play. Sometimes that's all you need. A lot of sounds, they just go in and feel like they're going home and they're going to be on home court when they go somewhere else. It doesn't work like that. You have to do your homework and you have to study the region that you're going to be in and what these people want to hear, what's hot now, what do they like, what kind of foundation them love, old tunes them love, are they up on new tunes, and all these things. Everything plays a role, and if you don't do that little homework right there or ask a few questions, then you're going to lose out. And a lot of people, they use the race thing and say, okay, these guys are white guys and people are fascinated with them. I don't really feel that's true. I mean, Radigan has been doing this for years. Mighty Crown has been doing this for years. A lot of sounds from Europe has been doing this for years. I don't think it's the first Trinidad is actually seeing white men play reggae music. So I would just say they were more prepared than LP.
LP's poor form in 2013 has coincided with Polyphemus joining the Sounds. To use a basketball analogy, do you think it's a bit of a Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire situation when it comes to Poly and LP? And although they're both talented, they don't gel well together? Or is it just a coincidence that LP haven't won a clash since Polyphemus joined the Sounds?
I'm going to say it's a little of both. Sometimes your sound might go into a clash with a new selector, and it might not work out in any way, shape, or form for either the sound or selector. The first time I went on King Addies, I had 4 days to prepare for a clash, and I just walked out there and I did my thing against Blunt Posse, and Addies won that clash. In terms of Polyphemus, I think that we have to give him a little time to learn LP's box and how to deliver the songs in LP's box. At the same time, he can also learn from watching Killa D. You know, sometimes it has to do a lot with the love for a sound. I mean, sometimes people end up on a sound that they love for years and they have studied that sound for years. I'm not sure what the case is with Polyphemus and LP, but it works out easier. It's like you go to a song where you know the tunes and you know the dubs. Once you hear it, it's so easy for you to be yourself. A lot of people are saying that Polyphemus is coming from a sound that had less tunes, so he had to talk a lot, you know. But I feel like it's just they probably threw him into the battlefield too quick with this one. You know, they have to make him sit down and really and truly watch Killa D MC the sound and see how it works and what he could add to that. Not put him out there as the lead or the front man and he doesn't know how to drive LP truck. You understand me? Let Killa D drive the truck and go and teach you and show you how to do it, or Puma go and teach you and show you how to do it. And then you come and you take a spin around the block. That's how it goes. You can't just go there and say, I got this long distance driving and you don't know how to do it. You don't know how to shift the gears. You don't know how to do anything. You understand me? So it's a learning process. I'm not taking anything from Polyphemus. Big up Polyphemus, good youth. You understand me? But just give him some time and he'll come into his zone and start delivering for LP, hopefully.
Killa Boo, thanks a lot for your time. It sounds like you really want to see that King Addies versus Mighty Crown clash. I feel exactly the same way. Let's see if you can make that one happen for me in 2014.
I'm working on it. There's no friends in this thing. Put that out there for me, Gibbo. No friends in this thing. I warm, I say, straight sound clash. You know what I mean? So anybody out there is a potential victim when it comes to King Addies. Straight.
Gibbo.